It's time for an update on the first Phasmophobia video I released, Surviving the Hunt. I had taken a break from making videos for a while because the game was being updated regularly. A lot of the changes that were made during the creation of these videos invalidated them. Now that we have more time between updates, I feel more comfortable continuing. In the first video, I used information that I had put together from my early gameplay and didn't fully understand the mechanics in detail, so a lot of it was me erring on the side of caution. So a good 1,000 levels later, I am prepared to give you a better, more detailed, and more accurate guide. Small disclaimer, the game is constantly updating, so everything in here is subject to change. As of now, it is version 0.28.6.5. So, with that being said, let's jump into this. Much like the first video, it is time to tell you when you are exactly in danger. The ghost is able to show itself in many ways, and newer players will find themselves panicking over every small appearance. Until the flashlight starts to flicker and you can hear the front door lock, you are safe. So until then, calm down, it's okay. Depending on your difficulty, you'll have a certain amount of time to be able to do a setup. In Amateur, you have 5 minutes before the ghost can actually start hunting you. In Intermediate, you have 2 minutes. As a professional, you do not have any time to really set up before you can start noticing the major effects of a ghost. This can make it a lot easier to figure out where the ghost is at, however, it also means that you are going to be in danger a lot more quickly. In Amateur and Intermediate, you will have a lot more time to be able to sit there and gain your bearings. Your sanity drain will be extremely slow, and the ghost will be less active, so use your time effectively, find out where the ghost is at as quick as possible, and get the optimal setup that you need. On the subject of sanity, your team's average sanity is going to play heavily into your chances of being hunted. The equation that is used to determine the chance of being hunted is as such. AS stands for average sanity, HM stands for hunting modifier. Generally speaking, X is at 50 or below, the ghost will not hunt. There are 3 notable exceptions to this rule. Demons are extremely aggressive and have a plus 15 to their modifier. This means they can hunt at 65 average sanity. Mare's modifiers depend on whether it is dark or light in the room. In the dark being they will hunt at a 60, and whenever the lights are on, they will hunt at 40 instead. The only ghost who doesn't follow these rules is a Banshee. Banshee's special effect will let them hunt at any average sanity. I have openly had a couple of hunts where I will be hunted the first 10 seconds that I walk into a house. It's extremely small chance of happening, but it does happen. Which on the bright side makes it very easy to determine what kind of ghost it is. Now that we understand the basic concepts of a hunt, we're going to break down the hunt survival into 2 parts, prevention and reaction. One thing you can do is limit how many players go in at one time. On a team of 4, each player can be accountable for 25% of your overall average sanity. If you control how quickly one sanity drops, you are able to control how quickly you go into a hunt phase. This could be done by leaving one person in the van to check for ghost orbs and monitor objectives. This person can be rotated out at discretion depending on the need, or even if the ghost room requires a full group to get evidence. The second thing you could do is bring in crucifixes into the room and cover as much area as possible. Crucifixes have a 3-meter radius of active coverage, 5 if you're dealing with a Banshee. Placing them in the room to cover as much area as possible is a good way to stay protected. Crucifixes can either be laid down or held. However, holding them requires a inventory space and they have to be out in order to work, so it's always better to lay them down in the center of the room. Each crucifix has 2 charges that can be expended, being noted by the arms of the cross. Whenever the cross uses a charge, one of the arms will disappear. Finally, we have smudge sticks. After lighting them and coming within a certain distance away from the ghost, you will smudge them. This means they cannot actively hunt for about a minute and a half. Double for spirits. This will make it to where you get more interactions without risking being hunted. They will have another use that will be covered later on in reactions. Now, for reactions, you are actively being hunted and your goal is to remain amongst the realm of the living. With one of the latest updates, ghost hunts have changed a lot. First of all, ghosts can no longer be kited long term. Ghosts progressively get faster and faster the longer they keep eye contact with you. Ghosts also have a 50% chance of remembering where it last saw you during a hunt. and will search there next time it tries to hunt. If you are making noise, such as talking or breathing into the mic, and the ghost knows you are there, it will open up spots that you are hiding in, whether you are holding the door closed or not. Most importantly, its line of sight is more detailed now. So, you can find furniture to use to block line of sight. This makes it to where you can hide in multiple places as opposed to just relying on lockers and closets. The basics to hide now is to hide behind something or in something like a closet, a bathroom stall, a locker, or behind something like a piece of furniture. You must also now be as quiet as possible. Unfortunately, I've had a ghost rip a closet open on me because I had deep sight into the microphone and it hurt me. So be mindful of these things unless you want to die like me. Now for the second main use of a smudge stick. If you are being chased, you can light a smudge stick and throw it at the ghost. It will disorient it for a period of time of about 5 seconds, giving you some time to find a place to hide. Other than this, if you are caught out and you don't have a smudge stick or any way to really hide or any good places to hide, then your best course of action is going to be to try and outrun it long enough to find a way to break sight. Try to be quick though, because as earlier mentioned, it will slowly catch up with you. Also remember, some ghosts are faster than others. As a couple of other little tidbits, using a Ouija board will take you out of the setup phase. For normal ghosts, when the setup phase is over, the ghost will check for X, as used by the earlier equation. If between 50 and 75, it has a 1 in 6 chance to hunt. If at 75 or higher, it will hunt a fourth of the time that it interacts. This translates to 50% average sanity and 25% sanity, respectively, with not accounting for hunting mods. Banshees will also follow these rules whenever their target is not inside the building. During hunts, amateur will have 25 seconds of hunt time, intermediate will have 35 seconds, and pros will have to last for 50 seconds for a hunt to end. Finally, ghosts will normally open doors to gain line of sight. However, they can just walk through them as though they are not there. So do not rely on closing a door to a room as a way of avoiding the ghost. You might get unlucky enough for it to walk through anyway. With all these things in mind, you have a greater chance of surviving the hunt. Thanks for coming in for this updated guide. If you have any questions, leave a comment. I'll try to get to it as quick as I can. Or catch me on Twitch. I'd be happy to talk about the game with y'all. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, happy hunting.